I find it interesting that Christians and believers of the God of the Christian Bible thank God. They give God praise and they worship God for financial blessings and for houses and cars and new jobs and money. When Jesus' entire ministry was funded by women and narcissistic men, toxic men, this isn't a flex. And because of this and other things that Jesus portrayed in his behavior and his speech, the Israelites rejected him because they saw him as a passive person who didn't present himself as a king. A king, by Jewish standards, built strongholds, they built strong cities, secured economic prosperity, defended the weak with power, not just words. They actually showed it. They didn't speak it. They physically defended the weak. They gathered men to their side to establish righteous rule, and they showed divine blessings through material success. Jesus did neither. Jesus never sat on any actual throne. So in Jewish eyes, in the Israelite eyes, Jesus was not a king. Jesus was just someone who says he was the Son of God. And therefore, the Israelites rejected him. This is how the Bible presents Jesus, as passive, as turn the other cheek if someone hits you. If a man sues you for your cloak, give him your coat, or vice versa. Passive. I find it intriguing that people discount themselves, their hard work, their talent, their blood, their sweat, their tears, to something they have cultivated and worked hard for, to something or someone they have never seen before. I find it intriguing that they don't even applaud themselves or give themselves credit, because the person is not going to knock on your door and say, "Here, I have a job for you." You have to get up and go there. The person is not going to come to your office or wherever you are in your job and say, "Hey, you have a raise." You have to do the performance. You have to do the task. So I find that very intriguing. Jesus was broke to the point that he was unhoused. He had nowhere to sleep. He had nowhere to lay his head. Nowhere. Women, even married women, had to take care of him financially, psychologically, and emotionally, support his entire ministry. And again, this is not a flex. Jesus was so broke. And since the women weren't around at the time and they ran out of money, he had to steal a donkey. Like I said, he stole the donkey. He had two of his disciples to go take a donkey. And if anyone asks why they were taking the donkey, you just tell them that the Lord needs it. Don't ask first. You take the donkey, and if anybody questions you, then you just tell them the Lord needs it. Now, under Roman law and Torah law, that is theft unless the owner just voluntarily agrees. So that means they would have to go to court and do all that good things. And the owner would say, "Yeah, don't worry about it, he can have it." But that's after the fact. But that's still theft. Jesus had no resources of his own. That means he couldn't afford basic transportation like a donkey. He had to rely on persuasion, no ownership. His power was influence, not wealth. He was trying to fulfill prophecy through dependence, not through military strength or riches. If Jesus needed to borrow or steal a donkey, but you and your pastor drive the latest cars and are in the latest houses and are living the life of convenience and luxury and have the bag, or at least not living paycheck to paycheck or not living below paycheck to paycheck, who's really following Christ? Which one of you are playing Caesar here? I just find that interesting. I am serious about this. So, according to the text and according to what was happening in Jesus' day in history, when those texts was written, I have come to a couple of conclusions. Either my father isn't God according to Christian theology, because Christian theology says Jesus is the Son of God. So either when Jesus says, my father and I are one, or this is for my father, or so my father can get this, he's not talking about the God. Or God doesn't know who Jesus is, and Jesus isn't the son of that God. Or Jesus is talking about a whole totally different God. Or that God does not have any power. Neither does Jesus. Because why would you not fund your son's exhibition? Why? That would be the first sign that he's God. That would be the first sign that he's a Messiah. But yet and still, he is broke and busted, and he gets unalive for sedition, not even for your sins. I just find that fascinating. Don't you?